Lil Wayne. Young Money was supposed to be forever, but Dwayne Carter learned the hard way that even kings can fall. Coming up through Cash Money Records with the Hot Boys, Weezy transformed from a New Orleans youngin' to a global phenomenon. The Block is Hot in '99 announced his arrival, but the Carter trilogy really put him on the map as the hardest working cat in the game. The Carter 3 in 2008 with that Lollipop joint moved over 120 million records worldwide, bagged 5 Grammys, and established Young Money Entertainment as the house that Wayne built, discovering Drake and Nicki Minaj in the process. But behind all that platinum success, the streets were watching Wayne's pockets get lighter. Between 2011 and 2012, Homie racked up a jaw-dropping $14 million tab with the IRS that had his accountants sweating bullets. The breakdown was straight devastating. Roughly $7.3 million for 2011 and another $6.8 million for 2012, adding up to about $14.2 million in liens. This wasn't Wayne's first dance with tax troubles either. Dude had already caught a $5.6 million lien for 2008 to 2009 that targeted his Miami Beach crib. Plus, he'd settled a $1.13 million lien back in 2010. The real drama came from his beef with Birdman and Cash Money Records over unpaid royalties, and that delayed That Carter V release. Wayne took it to court in 2015, claiming they owed him tens of millions, including an $8 million advance that never hit his account. During a 2018 show in Chicago, Wayne kept it real about his struggles, giving props to Jay-Z for helping him when he was really down with his tax situation. The specifics stay between them, but Hov definitely looked out for his fellow mogul when times got tight. Wayne finally cleared that $14 million debt in 2019, probably using that 8-figure settlement from Universal Music Group after squashing his Cash Money beef, which also freed up The Carter V to finally drop and do numbers. Nas. When Illmatic hit the streets in '94, Nasir Jones didn't just drop an album, he delivered hip-hop's holy grail that had heads saying he was the reincarnation of rap itself. Queen's finest wordsmith crafted what cats still call the greatest LP ever, moving over 2 million copies and proving that lyricism could still move the masses. It was written in '96 and Stillmatic in 2001, with bangers like If I Ruled the World kept him on his throne. With over 15 million records sold and 13 Grammy nods, Nas looked untouchable both artistically and financially. But even God's Son couldn't escape the IRS when they came collecting. Between 2006 and 2010, Nas accumulated over $6 million in tax debt that had the feds ready to seize everything he owned. The IRS slapped him with liens totaling $2.6 million in 2010 for unpaid taxes from 2006 to 2007, with additional years pushing his total debt to a crushing $6.46 million. His 2009 divorce from Kellis made everything worse. Courts ordered him to drop $40,000 monthly in spousal and child support, but by 2010 he was already behind $700,000 while his income was getting garnished heavy. The financial avalanche kept coming when his manager hit him for another $700,000, creating a perfect storm that ended with foreclosure taking his Georgia mansion in 2012. Despite stacking millions from album sales and touring, his lifestyle consistently outpaced his income while he moved without proper financial advisors watching his back. The combination of massive tax debts, divorce settlements, and management fees created an impossible situation that even the King of Queens couldn't rap his way out of. Nas has since bounced back creatively, finally grabbing his first Grammy for King's Disease in 2020, but that earlier financial collapse showed that even rap royalty can get their crown repossessed. Lauryn Hill. Miss Lauryn Hill came through like a breath of fresh air when the Fugees dropped The Score in '96, moving over 7 million copies with her soulful flip of Killing Me Softly that had the whole world singing along. But when she went solo with The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill in '98, that joint became a straight cultural earthquake, selling over 10 million copies and snatching 5 Grammys while blending hip-hop, soul, and reggae in ways nobody had ever heard before. Hill proved she was more than just another MC. She was a visionary whose influence reached far beyond the booth. Tax troubles started creeping in when Hill couldn't manage the financial success that came with her artistic genius. Between 2005 and 2007, she straight up refused to file tax returns on $1.8 million in income, creating a $1 million debt to Uncle Sam that had the feds ready to lock her up. When they hit her with 3 counts of tax evasion in 2012, she tried to make it right by paying $900,000 before sentencing, but still caught 3 months in federal prison in 2013. Her decision to step back from the spotlight after Miseducation severely limited her her income through minimal touring and barely releasing new music. Legal battles with her former Fugees crew over royalties made her pockets even lighter, while her Georgia crib almost got foreclosed due to unpaid mortgages. Hill's spending on large entourages and expensive properties, combined with apparently moving without proper financial advisors, systematically drained all that miseducation money. Her tax situation became extra controversial when she publicly claimed distrust in the government system as her reason for not paying taxes, a philosophical stance that federal courts weren't trying to hear. After doing her bid, she's been back on the touring circuit, occasionally dropping music, but her financial recovery stays slow since she's still reluctant to fully jump back into the commercial game. Nelly. The gateway city exploded onto hip-hop's map when Cornell Haynes Jr. brought that Midwest swagger to the world as Nelly. Country Grammar in 2000 was a game-changer, blending rap with melodic hooks that had both the streets and suburbs bumping. That joint moved over 10 million copies with tracks like Ride With Me dominating every radio station from coast to coast. Nellyville in 02 and Sweatsuit in 04 kept the momentum rolling with bangers like Hot in Hair and Dilemma, while his business moves with clothing lines Vocal and Apple Bottoms, plus that Moonshine liquor brand, had him sitting on a $70 million empire. But 2016 brought a financial reality check that hit harder than a brick to the dome. The IRS came for his neck with a massive $2.4 million lien for unpaid federal taxes from 2013 to 2015, while Missouri's Department of Revenue added $149,500 for unpaid state taxes on top. These liens were straight aggressive, targeting his bank accounts and threatening to garnish any tour money, dropping his estimated net worth from $40 million to a measly $8 million by 2022. Financial experts pointed out that Nelly, like many young cats who blow up quick, lacked proper money education and trusted managers who weren't prioritizing tax compliance. When word got out about Nelly's debt, something beautiful happened in the culture. His fans organized a streaming campaign, trying to run up Hot in Hair millions of times to generate enough royalty income to help clear his $2.4 million tab. The Guardian calculated it would take 403 million streams to hit that number. Impossible, but showing how much love the people had for him. His business ventures that were making money during his peak became burdens when his cultural relevance started slipping, while the lack of hit records after M.O. in 2013 cut his main income stream. The resolution came in 2023 when Nelly made the smart play and sold his music catalog for $50 million, restoring his net worth to $70 million and clearing all his tax obligations. MC Hammer. You Can't Touch This wasn't just a record, it was a cultural takeover that made Stanley Burrell the biggest entertainer on the planet. His 1990 album Please Hammer Don't Hurt 'Em moved over 10 million copies, went diamond, and camped at #1 on Billboard for 21 straight weeks. Hammer was pulling in $33 million during 1990 to 1991 according to Forbes, out-earning most celebrities, while his parachute pants, elaborate videos, and even a Mattel doll had him dominating everything from MTV to Saturday morning cartoons with Hammerman. What came next became the most legendary financial crash in hip-hop history. From a $70 million fortune, Hammer filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 1996, owing $13 million with only $1 million in assets. A fall so epic it's still taught in business schools as the ultimate cautionary tale. His spending was absolutely wild. A $12 million, 40,000 square foot Fremont mansion with gold-plated gates, 2 pools, one shaped like his famous pants, and $2 million marble floors that cost $500,000 annually just to maintain. His garage looked like a luxury car dealership with 17 rides, 2 helicopters, a private jet, and multiple limos. The most crushing expense was his crew. Hammer kept over 200 people on payroll, including a 40-person entourage, with monthly costs hitting $1 million for cats who basically had no job except being his friends. He later told Oprah, "I didn't just take the money and say, I want to be a blessing to myself. I employed 200 people in my community, trying to spin it as community investment instead of financial suit." Business moves like busting records cost $500,000 monthly, while his 19 thoroughbred horses worth $1 million each included Light Light, which lost him $35,000 in a single bet. Legal battles, including Rick James winning co-writing credits for You Can't Touch This, permanently diverted his royalties to other pockets. He had to sell his mansion for $5.7 million, less than half what he spent, and even in 2023 got sued for $76,000 in unpaid Land Rover payments, proving some habits die hard. DMX. When Earl Simmons stepped into the spotlight as DMX, he brought that raw, unfiltered energy straight from the streets to the booth. It's Dark and Hell is Hot in '98 moved over 5 million copies, with Rough Riders' anthem becoming the soundtrack for every hood in America. And then there was X in '99, and the Great Depression in 2001 kept him on top, selling over 30 million records, while his roles in flicks like Belly showed he could move from the mic to the big screen with that same authentic street energy. But Darkman X's demons extended far beyond his lyrics into systematic financial self-destruction. Between 2010 and 2015, DMX deliberately hid over $1.7 million in income from the IRS, creating a $2.29 million tax debt that had the feds ready to throw the book at him. In 2017, he pleaded guilty to federal tax fraud and caught a 1-year prison sentence in 2018. His tax evasion wasn't just poor record keeping. Federal prosecutors proved he was using shell companies and nominees to hide money while completely ignoring his tax obligations. The IRS hit back hard, raiding his spots and seizing jewelry, furniture, and anything else of value. DMX's bankruptcy attempts failed repeatedly because he couldn't keep his paperwork straight or maintain consistent legal representation. He filed Chapter 11 in 2013, trying to reorganize $1 to $10 million in debts, including $1.3 million in child support for his 15 kids and that $2.29 million IRS tab. Courts dismissed the filing due to inconsistencies, and when he tried again in 2016, they rejected that too. Between 1986 and 2015, his 14 arrests on various charges generated massive legal fees, while his well-documented substance abuse required expensive rehabilitation attempts that reduced his earning capacity through canceled tours and missed opportunities. His child support obligations for 15 children created ongoing expenses totaling $1.3 million in arrears, continuing regardless of his ability to generate income. DMX passed in 2021, never achieving financial recovery, despite his extraordinary artistic legacy that influenced a whole generation of street rappers. Fat Joe. The Bronx bred Joseph Cartagena into hip-hop royalty through 3 decades of staying relevant in a game that eats artists alive. Coming up through Diggin' in the Crates crew and founding Terror Squad, his 1993 debut, Represent, showed that gritty, East Coast realness. Don Cartagena, in the '98, brought mainstream success, but Terror Squad's Lean Back in 2004 was his moment topping charts, getting Grammy nods and proving he could work with everyone from Big Pun to Remy Ma, while expanding into acting and business ventures that kept his name ringing in the streets. But success couldn't protect Joe when tax obligations came calling with handcuffs. Between 2007 and 2010, Fat Joe earned over $3.3 million, but completely failed to file federal tax returns, a mistake that had the feds ready to make an example out of him. Initially owing $718,000 for 2007 to 2008, additional years pushed his total above $1 million, while prosecutors highlighted how he was making major bread but ignoring Uncle Sam completely. In December 2012, he pleaded guilty to 2 counts in Newark federal court. Fat Joe kept it 100 about his accountants, saying, "I hired guys who had degrees to take care of that, and they me," while taking responsibility and stating he'd go like a man if they gave him time. June 24, 2013 brought the hammer. 4 months in federal prison, 3 years supervised release, and a $15,000 fine that he served in full at Fort Dix from August to November 2013. After getting released, he became real vocal about financial literacy, telling cats that IRS battles are never ending once they start. A reported $1.1 million fine in 2016 suggested the tax troubles weren't completely over. Joe bounced back through continued music, media appearances, and business moves, though 2025 brought drama when former hype man Terrence T.A. Dixon hit him with a $20 million lawsuit alleging Joe stole tour payments to cover $700,000 in tax debts, plus other serious allegations including trafficking. Lil' Kim. Brooklyn's baddest export revolutionized female rap when Kimberly Jones came through Junior Mafia under Biggie's wing. Conspiracy in '95 introduced her provocative style on Player's Anthem, but Hardcore in '96 changed the whole game. Moving over 6 million copies with joints like No Time and Crush on You, she became the self-proclaimed Queen Bee, whose explicit lyrics and fashion icon status redefined what female MCs could be. The Notorious Kim. In 2000, and Grammy-winning collaborations cemented her influence for generations of female rappers who followed, but chronic tax issues escalated into a complete financial disaster by 2018. Lil' Kim owed $1.8 million in unpaid federal taxes as part of a pattern that included $1.47 million for earlier years. The IRS kept coming, hitting her with a $58,200 lien for 2005 income in 2019, then forcing settlement of a $150,700 lien for 2022 taxes in 2024 because Uncle Sam don't play about his money. Her reduced output following a 2005 purge perjury conviction and year in federal prison significantly cut her earning potential, while tax obligations kept stacking. Bankruptcy became the only option when foreclosure threatened her Alpine, New Jersey mansion. June 2018 brought Chapter 13 filing to stop foreclosure on her $2.3 million crib, valued at over $3 million, but carrying $2 million in loans, with $1.9 million still owed. Total debts exceeded $4 million, including that $1.8 million tax debt and $186,000 in legal bills from various court cases. Her proposed $5,500 monthly payments to creditors faced objections from court trustees who questioned the accuracy of her financial reporting. The bankruptcy was specifically designed to halt foreclosure proceedings that started in 2017 after she defaulted on mortgage payments. August 2018 required $32,000 to bring her mortgage current, plus committing to $10,000 monthly installments just to keep her crib. T-Pain. Tallahassee's Fahim Najim flipped the whole game when he made auto-tune his signature sound and became T-Pain. Rapper turned Sanga in 2005 introduced his innovation with I'm Sprung, but Epiphany in 2007 had the whole world singing along to Buy You a Drink and Bartender. The 33 Rings in 2008, plus collaborations like Flo Rida's Low, cemented his influence, moving over 20 million records and bagging 2 Grammys while inspiring everyone from Kanye to Future to embrace that melodic rap approach. But success couldn't protect T-Pain from his own financial recklessness. From a $40 million bag around 2008, he crashed to near poverty by 2011 to 2019, ending up so broke he had to borrow money for Burger King meals for his kids, despite still having artists signed to his label. His downfall came through wild spending on chains for his whole crew, luxury whips, and keeping way too many people on payroll, plus terrible real estate advice from his manager, who had him buying rundown properties expecting quick flips with minimal repairs, none of which ever sold profitably. His chasing money mentality of jumping on every feature for quick paydays distracted him from building sustainable wealth. The specific disasters included almost losing his $6 million Atlanta mansion to unpaid mortgages and facing foreclosure on a Palm Beach County property in 2019, where he owed $83,000 on an $85,800 loan with 0 payments since 2016. Substance issues and industry burnout after the auto-tune backlash significantly reduced his income while his expenses stayed sky high. Recovery required major lifestyle changes, cutting out expenses like private jets while refocusing on family over fame and fortune. He rebuilt through his Nappy Boy label, streaming success including winning The Masked Singer in 2019 and making smarter investment choices. Ja Rule. Queen's Jeffrey Atkins transformed into Ja Rule during hip-hop's late 90s explosion through Murder Inc. records and Irv Gotti's Vision. Veni Vedi Veci in a '99 went platinum with Holla Holla announcing his arrival, but collaborations with Jennifer Lopez on I'm Real and Ashanti on Always on Time shot him to superstardom, moving over 30 million records worldwide during his 1999 to 2004 peak. Ja was dominating both rap and pop radio simultaneously like few artists ever have, but tax evasion systematically destroyed Ja's multi-million-dollar empire. His failure to pay taxes on over $3 million in earnings from 2004 to 2006 led to a 2011 guilty plea and 28-month federal prison sentence that he served from 2011 to 2013. The IRS pursued liens totaling $3.1 million, with a 2021 court ruling confirming he still owed over $3 million even after doing his bid. Earlier liens included $1.1 million in the early 2000s and $2 million in back taxes in 2019, while additional troubles included a $718,000 bill in 2016, showing systematic non-compliance with tax obligations despite substantial earnings. Business failures made his situation worse. Investments in the Mojito Liquor Company, 2006, Bustin' Records, and fashion line Irvin Jeffrey cost thousands monthly without generating returns, while his association with the 2017 Fyre Festival disaster triggered a $100 million class action lawsuit. Though cleared of criminal wrongdoing in 2019, the festival's failure damaged his reputation, while he still profited from related merchandise, like auctioning a $122,000 Fyre Media logo NFT in 2021. His 2018 lawsuit against Murder Inc. and Def Jam for unpaid royalties from classics like Always on Time was eventually settled, though the terms remain private. 2024 brought news of a reported potentially $100 million label deal that boosted his net worth through NFT projects, including Black is Beautiful Collections donating $50,000 to HBCUs, Web3 ventures like his Icon app, and the Painted House NFT platform. Current touring brings in $100,000 plus per show, though his estimated $4 million net worth in 2025 reflects the permanent damage from his tax troubles and business failures that cost him generational wealth. Bow Wow. Columbus's Shad Moss became hip-hop's youngest sensation when Snoop Dogg discovered him at age 6, transforming him into Lil Bow Wow. Beware of Dog in 2000 moved over 3 million copies with bangers like Bounce With Me, making him the hottest young cat in the game. Transitioning to acting with Like Mike in 2002 while dropping Lil from his name in 2003, he seemed destined for lifelong success across multiple entertainment platforms. But adult reality crushed those childhood dreams through systematic financial mismanagement. In 2011, Bow Wow owed $91,000 in unpaid taxes from 2006, escalating to $126,000 by 2012, while claiming only $4,000 monthly income during child support hearings. He admitted to leasing a Jeep and renting a $10,000 per month Atlanta crib with just $1,500 in assets to his name. TMZ reported bankruptcy filing, though he denied it, but court documents revealed $1,500 in assets against $1.2 million in debts, including $283,000 owed to a luxury car company after defaulting on a $300,000 Lamborghini loan. Vehicle repossessions became his financial signature. He lost a $200,000 Bentley and $220,000 Ferrari in 2012, plus that $300,000 Lamborghini Murcielago through a 2012 lawsuit that exposed his leasing without ownership lifestyle. Earlier in 2011, another lawsuit over a repossessed Bentley had him owing $216,000 plus interest. Child support battles forced reduction from $3,000 to $1,500 monthly for daughter Shay due to his claimed low earnings, while his admission of faking wealth through staged private jet photos sparked the viral Bow Wow Challenge meme that had the internet clowning him for weeks. 2018 social media rants about giving away money and 2024 threats to expose rappers who owe him money suggest ongoing financial instability and poor decision-making. Tyga. Compton's Michael Stevenson came up as Tyga through Young Money's 2008 signing, launching with no introduction before exploding with Careless World in 2012 and that massive Rack City joint that had every club jumping. Collaborations with Chris Brown on Deuces and later success with Offset on Taste kept him relevant, while moving over 600,000 albums and establishing himself within hip-hop's melodic mainstream movement that dominated the 2010s. But massive debt accumulation has characterized Tyga's entire career, despite consistent commercial success and chart appearances. His current $8 million net worth masks a history of debts exceeding $10 million, including over $8 million in taxes, numerous vehicle repossessions, and lawsuits from landlords and jewelers stemming from systematic non-payment patterns despite substantial earnings. Tax problems dominate his financial troubles, with IRS debts exceeding $8 million from 2012 to 2019, and no estimated payments since 2011. 2023 tax court rulings against him on a $2 million 2019 levy included proposed $13,000 monthly payments he couldn't maintain, leading to $87,000 monthly demands that he defaulted on. California added liens of $19,000 2015 and $120,000 2014, while 2022 debts hit $2.29 million for 1 year alone, forcing a $65,000 monthly payment plan he couldn't keep up with. Vehicle repossessions became as routine as his music releases. Ferrari $488, $1 million debt 2016. Lamborghini and Bentley $357,000 owed 2016. Maybach $200,000 2019, and Ferrari and Rolls-Royce $130,000 lawsuit 2019 represent just partial losses from his inability to maintain payments on luxury vehicles. Defaults on leases, including $44,000 Ferrari and $84,000 Rolls-Royce, highlighted chronic overspending habits. Landlord lawsuits included $124,000 2015 and $50,000 2016 for Calabasas rent, plus $480,000 for Malibu property damages, showing he couldn't even handle basic housing obligations. Jewelers sued for $91,000 2013, escalating to $185,000, and $200,000 for an unpaid chain 2016, proving even his bling was financed irresponsibly. His 2018 lawsuit against Young Money for $10 million in unpaid royalties was eventually settled, though the terms stayed private. Exhibit. Detroit's Alvin Joyner transformed into Exhibit during the mid-90s underground explosion, coming up through the West Coast scene with serious lyrical skills. At the Speed of Life in the '96 under Loud Records featured Paparazzi, but Dr. Dre's production on Restless in 2000 elevated him to mainstream success, moving over 1 million copies. MTV's Pimp My Ride from 2004 to 2007 made him a household name beyond hip-hop, while acting roles in flicks like 8 Mile expanded his entertainment industry presence significantly. But financial disaster hit hit immediately, after Pimp My Ride's 2007 cancellation left him without his main income source. By 2010, Xzibit owed the IRS over $959,500 in unpaid federal taxes, with liens filed for 2006 to 2008 totaling $1.4 million in liabilities against only $739,400 in assets. Earlier 2008 liens reached $296,300, stemming from his failure to pay taxes on peak TV and music earnings. His income crashed from $497,100 to $67,500 in 2008 after the show ended, making debt service impossible while trying to maintain his established lifestyle. Bankruptcy attempts failed repeatedly due to incomplete paperwork and his inability to properly reorganize debts. Xzibit filed Chapter 11 twice, July 2009 and January 2010, both dismissed by courts for failing to provide proper documentation. The 2009 filing revealed $739,400 in assets against $1.4 million in liabilities, primarily IRS debts that were crushing his financial future. A third attempt was considered but never successfully pursued due to ongoing complications. He claimed MTV owed him residuals for Pimp My Ride, complicating his financial recovery, while business ventures like cannabis company Brass Knuckles provided some relief. In 2018, he celebrated paying off a $233,800 IRS debt by sharing the receipt on social media, showing his commitment to clearing his obligations. However, 2025 brought fresh drama when his ex-wife Krista Joyner demanded $230,000 to avoid her own bankruptcy, claiming he secretly sold Brass Knuckles for $170 million while hiding income during their divorce proceedings and failing to pay $90,000 in legal fees. Young Buck, Nashville's David Brown, rode the G-Unit wave to mainstream success when 50 Cent signed him in 2003, bringing that authentic Southern street credibility to the crew. Straight Outta Cashville in 2004 went platinum with Shorty Wanna Ride, proving he belonged in the big leagues, while Buck the World in 2007 sustained his momentum. His gritty Nashville rap style within G-Unit's powerhouse lineup moved millions before internal beef and contractual disputes created one of hip-hop's most bitter and financially destructive artist-label relationships. Multiple bankruptcies defined Young Buck's financial meltdown, alongside his legendary feud with 50 Cent over a $250,000 loan that became personal. After a 2010 IRS raid seizing his jewelry and furniture, he filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy with debts exceeding $11 million, including $190,000 to Uncle Sam and massive child support arrears that had him drowning in obligations. The case converted to Chapter 7 in 2011, forcing asset liquidation, including his trademark name, due to unresolved G-Unit contract disputes that prevented him from generating income. He owed $33,100 on a Cadillac Escalade and $700,000 on mortgages while unable to work due to the ongoing labor warfare. Filing Chapter 7 again in 2020 amid jail time, Buck aimed to discharge debts, including that disputed $250,000 loan from 50 Cent that had become the centerpiece of their public beef. Social media posts allegedly hiding income risked case dismissal, while 2023 brought the painful decision to auction his music catalog to clear debts. By 2024, he sold $1 million in assets, including his most valuable intellectual property. But the feud with 50 persisted until July 2025, when a bankruptcy court finally ordered $200,000 payment to 50 Cent as unsecured debt, officially ending their legal battle. The settlement closed a chapter that cost Buck his catalog and most valuable assets, demonstrating how personal beef combined with tax issues can create inescapable financial cycles, requiring complete asset liquidation for resolution. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.